was good or the advertising was better this time, but we keep having more and more people. And to respect your time, I've tried to write a little something here to try and explain the idea behind today, behind the Science Cafe that we started 4 years ago with GPSS and Pathways to Science. And it begins like this. Does knowledge or science tickle your fancy? Then I think you've come to a good place to start. We are here because you might wonder, what would it be like? What would it be like if I was to step in the shoes of a young scientist? Shoes that I may want to fill one day myself. Not so many years from now. Where would my shoes walk? On the horizon of human knowledge? And what lies there? What rich islands, continents, and oceans await scientific discovery? The horizons that are years and years away from the pages in my textbook today. And who will my quest impact? So we brought some rock star graduate students, as Maria likes to call them, young scientists, to show you what cutting-edge science lies at the edge of human knowledge today, even here in your hometown, New Haven. And we want to tell you about how their world-class labs and their very own research and personal effort, their personal story, helps lay a siege on the edge of the known in our very hometown. We want to show you why research matters, how it will impact our daily lives, how is it done. But we want to do so from the perspective of the shoes that you could fill, over coffee, snacks, and share the personal stories of how we got to where we are today and why we decided to devote our lives to this pursuit. What is our walk of life like? But then, most importantly, we're not here to just talk to you. We're here to answer your questions. And so I encourage you to seek out all the people with name tags of graduate students, and we'll break up into discussion groups after the presentations. There'll be 3 to 4 discussion groups, 3 for each of the 3 speakers, so you can go and ask them questions vis-a-vis, face-to-face, one-on-one. And there'll be a 4th discussion group where we'll have the rest of the graduate students from different fields, so we can represent a broader array of your interest. So without further ado, let's begin. Let me introduce the lineup of our students, graduate Rockstar students today. So first, we'll zoom out from our seats here on Earth in this room and journey to the explosive surface of our burning sun, where Daryl Seligman, a young PhD scientist in the astronomy department back here on Earth at Yale, will take us on a tour of what goes on there through his stellar research in stellar astrophysics. I had to take that one. Then we will warp back in space, but not to Earth, but to the difficult to assail land of our minds. And Sharif, a PhD in the Biology and Biomedical Sciences department here back on Earth, will twist the fabric of our minds as he dives with us on a quest of the meaning of consciousness. Suddenly, we will find ourselves traveling not through space, but through time, on a planet so unfamiliar, yet it will be revealed that in the secret past of our Earth, through the research of Robin Canavan, a PhD student back on Earth today in the geology department and geophysics department here at Yale. Whoops, too fast. Because the most valuable part, perhaps, of this whole thing will be after the talks. When you can ask your questions one-on-one with the speakers, and we'll have tags labeling each of the locations back there. And so we can continue to have a light snack, some coffee, and we'll break up into the groups with the 3 speakers and the graduate students back there by the tables. And so our quest does not end here, but it is only the beginning of your quest. And after the event, you can get in touch with any of the speakers so they can address any further questions you might have. Maybe even visit a lab one day. So thank you, guys, for being part of this. Thank you for taking time from your Sunday. Thank you, Pathways and GPSS, for funding. And let us begin our journey through space and time and meet Daryl on the surface of the sun. But first, I'll tell you about Daryl.